How's it going, folks? Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel for the weekend MMO news drop. Let's get straight to it, beginning with The Elder Scrolls Online. Zenimax this week has dropped its official zone preview for the upcoming MARKATH DLC, and both the trailer and web article gives ESO players a breakdown of what's in store this November. To summarize, the dev team wanted to create the feeling of coming home, as players will get to see familiar places that they've explored in Skyrim: The Elder Scrolls V some 800 years in the future. So this was a good opportunity to give more lore, background, and more to MARKATH. Expect to see plenty of story for the Reach and Dwarves, which ties up the year-long Heart of Skyrim storyline nicely. The DLC drops on November the 2nd. Sticking with Zenimax Online Studios, this past week we also got information about the studio's upcoming AAA project, which we've known about since last year, with many outlets speculating that a new MMORPG is coming. Well, now we do know that this new project, whatever it may be, will have a fresh new engine built to run it, which will also affect all future Zenimax projects moving forward, including those for next-gen consoles, courtesy of Zenimax's lead graphics engineer Alex Tardif, who posted this snippet on Twitter. For us ESO players, it's safe to rule out an ESO 2 is coming. That's probably never going to happen, but what about upgrading ESO's engine? Would that be something Zenimax should look into? What do you folks think? Moving on to Azeroth and World of Warcraft, Blizzard has released the Shadowlands pre-patch survival guide video, something they do prior to every major patch, and if you've been away for a while, this is a great piece of content to help you get up to speed on what's coming. In short, the level squish, the new starter zone, massive customization changes for character creation, plus the barbershop, and plenty more, which you can also pour over in the patch notes now available. What's more, between now and November 15th, several services on the WoW shop are discounted at 30% off for things like race change, character transfers, which will be handy, and of course, faction change, which I've been told is really popular right now among Alliance players jumping over to the Horde side. Next up, Final Fantasy XIV. At time of recording this video, Square Enix will be hosting its Letter from the Producer live tonight on 9th of October, which happens in a few hours from now, and players will get a first look at what's coming in patch 5.4, featuring special guest Kei Odigari, the game's UI designer. Whatever is revealed will be on my next news drop. In the meantime, you can get prepared for patch 5.35, which drops on October 13th, featuring additional housing plots, the new scenario for the Blades of Gunhildr relic weapon storyline, and more. In the world of Tyria and Guild Wars 2, ArenaNet has confirmed that its annual Halloween festival, The Shadow of the Mad King, will return next week on October 13th and will run until November 3rd. All the related activities will be there, from the craziest jumping puzzle I know to the labyrinth, on top of festival achievements that will reward the new Lunatic Court cape and demon-haunted weapons to collect. Up next, in Perfect World Star Trek Online, the latest content update has arrived for PC players, known as House Shattered, which continues the Klingon War storyline that intensified in the previous update, House Divided. A free update, House Shattered features a brand new episode where captains will head to the Nimbus to seek out Captain Adat Pa and stop Jumpak and Akar. God bless his names. There's also a new task force operation, the Widening Gyre event, the Klingon Remaster, which is a full revamp of 4 missions from the Klingon story arc, and new ship tokens, which upgrades your ship. Oh, and if you're a fan of the Epic Game Store and want to see Star Trek Online on there, you got your wish, because as of this week, Star Trek Online is now officially on the Epic Game Store. For Bless Unleashed players on console, the fall update is now live on Xbox One, and yes, the PlayStation 4 too, because the head start on PS4 has begun for package owners. The fall update is all about quality of life improvements, which include the new guild trial system, arena challenges, the new Abyssal Dungeon, and quite a few new fancy content to experience. And don't forget, the full free-to-play launch for PS4 takes place on the 22nd of October, while the PC launch is still marked for later this year. A couple of classic MMOs have got news bits as well, so let's start with RuneScape. Coming on October 19th, RuneScape will be getting a brand new dig site called Orthan, the game's 6th dig site overall, and it was once a stronghold of the Dragonkin on Gielinor. Unlike other sites, Orthan is divided into several smaller locations around the island of Anachronia, but there are quicker ways to navigate around in this update. You'll need to be level 90 in archaeology in order to get started on Orthan and have completed the Desperate Measures update as well. You can already watch the deep dive dev video, which is on their YouTube channel, to prepare yourselves for its arrival. Now, for EverQuest 2 players who maybe missed out on the game's previous expansion, Blood of LUCLIN, well, there's a sale going on right now, and you can grab the standard edition for 25% off, which takes it down to $26. The expansion features include a level increase to 120, the new Overseer feature, new missions, trade skills, signature quests, and a whole lot more that will keep you busy if you're just returning to EverQuest 2. The sale can be found on the game's official website at eq2.com. For fans and players of the shooter MMO PlanetSide 2, good news. The game's massive Shattered WARPGATE update is now live. Why massive? Well, the update brings new open-world storytelling called campaigns to experience, while the game's world has seen some major changes too. There's new plants, overhauled bases, new skyboxes, and more that gives the game a fresh look for both new and returning players. Beyond that, players are also being treated to quality of life improvements like cross-faction chat, outfit resource balancing, while elsewhere there's all new content and equipment to earn, which is much needed to give PlanetSide 2 a shot in the arm. It's worth jumping in and checking it out since it's totally free. Now on to the mobile section, and for something new, let's talk about A3 Still Alive, which is a new MMORPG from Netmarble based on a PC version in South Korea, which is now open for pre-registration. A3 is a dark fantasy MMO, which features a huge open world that's story-driven and paired with fast-paced combat that borrows heavily from Battle Royale games. And while it does sound like a weird mix, its main focus is centered around open-world PvP. There isn't a release date for it yet, and it's unknown if this will be a global launch or not, but for those interested, check out the website for Android and iOS pre-registrations. Let's wrap this up now with the not-so-MMO section and start things off with Destiny 2, who's got a couple of bits for those of you that do play. First up is a new trailer sneak peek at the upcoming Beyond Light's expansion's weapons and gear, featuring plenty of new exotic armor and weapons like a cool gun that shoots bullets from a parallel universe, which does sound fun. And just as a reminder, the Beyond Light expansion drops on the 10th of November, but right now you can jump into the Festival of the Lost, which is the game's annual Halloween festival, running until the 3rd of November. Expect new ghost shell cosmetics and a new line of universal armor ornaments to collect. And finally, I'm pretty stoked about this one. Baldur's Gate 3 is now available in early access for Steam on PC and Google Stadia. Those of you who grew up with Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, you know exactly what to expect here. This is a player-driven RPG based on the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons, full of excellent narrative storytelling, character choice, and more. For quite the hefty price up front, you can jump into the first act of the game right now, which developers Larian Studios claim is worth up to 25 hours of gameplay, and you can also tackle the content in online multiplayer with 3 friends. Now, early access is not for everyone, of course, and you may want to wait a little bit more for more features and bug fixes before actually spending the money on this one. That's it from me, folks. As usual, if there's news for a game you play that isn't covered here, feel free to share what's going on with the rest of us down in the comments. Meantime, hit the like button for the love of MMOs, and hey, do subscribe to the channel. It's free and you'll never miss a video. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching.